Hi, you're with Chandeep at Goodly once again, and in this video I'm going to talk about the solution to the DAX problem that I gave you in the last week. And if you haven't really taken a look at the problem yet, I suggest that you take a look at the problem first and then come back and spend time with me on the solution. But if you tried and if you weren't able to solve it, that's totally okay. Let's just build the solution piece by piece and hopefully you'll be able to understand everything. No further ado, let's begin. Alright, I'm in Power BI and let's just start to build the solution. A quick recap of the problem before we start doing this. Now take a look at the problem here. We had to calculate the growth from the last month of the last quarter, right? This is not the typical type of growth that you would usually calculate, growth over last month or growth over last year. You had to find the growth of the current sales value over the last month of the last quarter. Just a quick recap here. So let's just say that if I'm trying to find the growth of 543,000, I had to compare this particular value of the end month of the last quarter, which means that if I have to go back to the last quarter, I would take a look at July, August, September, and the growth value against it will be compared to is 473,000. That means all the values of October, November, and December will be compared to the end month of the last quarter, which is nothing but the September value. And that's how all the values or all the growths need to be calculated. In order for me to solve this particular problem, what I need is that I need the numerator and I need the denominator, because that's what the two numbers are to be able to find the growth. To be able to get the numerator, it's pretty simple. What you can see is the very number, and that number is the numerator. But in order for me to get the denominator, what I need to do is I need to fetch the last month value of the last quarter, which simply means that if I can just maybe place like 755,000 divided by 473,000, if I can just get that value to appear against the month of December, I should have solved the problem. Again, against all the months of October, November, and December, if I can just display 473,000 against all of these 3 months, I then should have solved the problem, right? Now, how are we going to kind of solve this problem? What we're going to do is we're going to grab the dates which actually belong to that particular last month of the last quarter. First of all, what I'm trying to do is I will try to generate a date. Take a look. If I have to maybe focus on this value for now, which is 473,000, this value is nothing but the summation of all the dates of September of 2011. So if I could just find a way to get all the dates of September 2011, I then can just take a sum of all the values that appear in September 2011, and that should solve my problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this into two phases. Phase number one is that we'll try to fetch the dates, all the dates of the last month of the last quarter. Once we have all the dates, then we'll just take a sum of all the sales values that appear on those dates, and we should be able to solve this problem pretty easily. All right, I've already created a blank measure, and let's just start writing the hex inside of this measure, and let's just start to build this. The first thing that I would need is, if I need to display all the dates of September, let's just start to make the first of September available, because 1st of September to the last month or the last day of September is what I need. So I'm going to use the function something like end of quarter, and end of quarter asks you, hey, where are your dates? So calendar date is the date table that I have. I'm just going to close the bracket and commit to the formula. End of quarter is going to take the dates in the current filter context and push all of those dates out to the last date of the particular quarter. So if I commit to this particular formula and I drag this formula to my pivot table here, you will find that against every single month, I end up seeing the end of the quarter date. So you can see that against July, August, and September, I get to see the end of September date, which is the end of the quarter. Against October, November, and December, I get to see the December end date. Now this is fine. What I want to do is, I don't really want to see the end of the current quarter, but I want to see end of the previous quarter. That's what I'd like to see. That means that against the December quarter, I'd like to see September ending date, right? That's what I'd like to see. So let's just revise this particular formula. So I'm going to say, hey, end of last quarter. So I'm just going to say EO month, which is end of month. So I'm going to say that take this particular date, which is currently a December date or a September date, and take this date, let's say 4 months prior, minus 4. That's the second input. So what's your date and how many months prior do you want to go? If you want to go forward in time, you can just write a positive input. If you want to go backward in time, you can just write a negative input. All right, let's just commit to this formula and let's just see what happens. If I commit to the formula, you can see that if I had the date of December right here, ending of December, now I have 4 months prior, ending of August. So far so good. But you can see that here this is end of August, and if I just add one more day to it, it will be start of September. So if I just maybe come here, say +1, commit to the formula, and this will be start of September, and that's what is the date that I have. Now, I have received the starting of the last quarter's last month, and I just now need to receive the date which is the end of the last quarter last month. That means I have got 1st of September. I just need to have the date of the end of September. All right, let's just comment this formula, and let's just write another formula. So I'm going to go ahead with end of quarter once again, calendar date, close that bracket, and I'm going to use the EO month function once again, but this time I'm actually going to go EO month -3. That means just the previous quarter ending. Close the bracket, commit to the formula, and if I press enter, what I'm going to get is the end of September, right? Now, against the current filter context, which is October, November, and December, I have two dates, the 1st of September and the last of September, which is the 30th of September. Now, all that I want to do is, if I just grab both of these dates, 1st of September and the 30th of September, and I can just find total sales between 1st of September and 30th of September, I should be able to solve the problem. So let's just go revise our DAX once again. So I'm just going to use the function called dates between. So I'm going to say, hey, calendar date is my date table, and then it asks you, hey, what's your start date and what's your end date? This happens to be my start date, comma, this happens to be my end date. All right, I'm going to close the bracket, and now dates between function is going to give you a table as an output, and if you commit to the formula, it's actually going to give you an error and nothing actually shows up. But I don't really want to return a table. What I want is the sales between the first and the last of any particular month. So I'm going to just maybe wrap this around in the calculate function, and I'm going to say, hey, I would like to calculate total sales, but not the total sales of what the pivot table is telling you, the total sales of these particular dates that fall between a certain month and a certain start month and a close month. All right, I'm just going to close the bracket right here, and let's just commit to the formula, and let's just see what we get. So if I now take a look at the values right here, what I get now is that against October, November, and December, I'm able to get the sales of September, able to get the sales of September again, able to get the sales of September once again. This is good. Now that I have the numerator and I also have the denominator, it's pretty convenient to go ahead and find the growth percentage. Growth is nothing, current value divided by last value -1, and we just have to maybe wrap the growth calculation in a bit of if function around here and there so that it doesn't really appear for the grand totals and stuff. Now, I have already created a formula for that. I'm just going to show you that, which is built on the same lines as what we have discussed. So this is the formula, and you can see that this is nothing but the last quarter month end sales, the formula that we just wrote, and I have declared that as a variable, which is the last quarter month sales. There is another variable for the current month sales, and then I am just wrapping around all of these variables in a bunch of if statements so that the formula just appears at the right places. Now, if you ask me what is the growth calculation, this is the only piece of growth calculation, which is where I'm saying, hey, take the current sales, divide that by the last month sales, which is nothing but this particular value, the denominator, -1. Rest, all of this is nothing but like a condition to turn on or turn off the calculations to appear at the right months, at the right places. That's all about it, right? If I just commit to this particular formula, and if I just drag this formula that I have already made to the pivot table, you can see that it just gives me the growth at the right places, and I do not get anything else. All right, that was all about the DAX challenge. If you have any questions around the solution or any other questions, please feel free to put down a comment and I will be glad to reply. Another thing is that also do not forget to take a look at all the solutions that people who have posted either on the YouTube chat, YouTube comments, or on the blog comments. Do take a look at those solutions as well. And thanks for everybody who participated in this DAX challenge and posted their answers. Thank you so much for being so participative in this. In the end, a quick shout about my DAX and my Power Query courses in case you're starting out with Power BI and you'd like to learn DAX and Power Query right from scratch and then build up your skills to a level where you start solving more sophisticated, more real-time problems of your own data. I will highly recommend that you take a look at my courses. It's going to be immensely beneficial. Thanks so much for watching this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye.